Welcome back to The Edge. Aleyda Solis shares some insights to the leaked Google Search API document. Google AI overviews visibility are plummeting, appearing only about 15% of queries now. Is SEO facing crisis? Moz Search Scientists are actually highlighting some upcoming changes. You're listening to News from The Edge for the week of June 3rd, 2024, here on Edge of the Web Radio.
From the Edge of the Web studios, here's what we're looking at this week.
Hello, I'm Aaron Sparks, and you're not. I probably shouldn't lead with that. That's a Ron Burgundy call right there, right?
I mean, like, that's like harsh to go, you're not as good as me.
No. You don't want to be me.
Oh,
honestly,
okay.
with 2.5 weeks of no air conditioning in my house, you don't want to be me. Nor do you want to be the
that's
kids.
not good, dude. How did that happen even?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that, backed up installers in Indianapolis and saving a little bit of money. Yeah, so we've got a nice fan accoutrement going on in the Sparks household. However, it's a lot better than dealing with in-laws for 2.5 weeks, right?
Yeah, and or like not in-laws, just like the family stuff, people.
Oh yeah, exactly.
We made a bar mitzvah. I had like family fly in from out of the country for like all of them for like 2 weeks. It was a lot.
The family, all of the families.
All of them.
Oh, no.
Is the question here what creates more hot air, no air conditioning, or in-laws?
I don't think there's a question.
Oh.
I would definitely go with the no air conditioning.
Exactly. See, we'll run that poll. No air conditioning or in-laws for 2 weeks.
Obviously, no air conditioning. I don't care how hot it is.
Hey, we're covering SEO and digital marketing news each and every week, separately from our weekly interview series to get your news over to you as quickly as possible. Check out all our recent shows over at edgeofthewebradio.com. That's edgeofthewebradio.com. Proud to have Site Strategics as a title sponsor of this show. One of the top SEO companies in the Midwest. We're very proud of our team here at Site Strategics. We do a lot of things over here, so we'll talk a little bit more about that in the show. But the man behind the curtain, the voice in the wilderness there, is Mordy Oberstein. He's the head of SEO branding at Wix. Mordy, welcome back to the show.
Thanks so much.
More than welcome.
Great to be here. Sorry I was gone.
Yeah, you were gone on a particularly unique week. Just letting you know.
Yeah, all hell broke loose, huh?
It really did. It really did. There were some things.
Yeah,
some
thanks
stories.
a lot, Morty.
Yeah, you leave and it all hits the fan.
You were holding it together.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so if you didn't catch the news last week, or if you weren't paying attention to anything in the SEO world last week, very similar to Morty, evidently.
Morty is the
I was
agent.
offline, man. I checked out.
Morty is the Agent Stoker of the SEO world. There you go.
There's a deep cut.
There.
Gotta check that podcast out. Anyway, yeah, the API leaks from Google came out last week. Michael King and Rand Fishkin actually released some information that we're able to see a lot of API calls for search, but there's a heck of a lot of information out there that there's a lot of conspiracies theories on why that actually supposedly got leaked, right? So first and foremost, what do you think about that, Morty? I want to get your take because we hadn't talked to you up until now about the entire leak there. So
You want to go like into the whole thing?
oh, no. We don't have to go into the whole thing, but you have a couple of thoughts, I'm sure. So let's give you the stage here for a second.
I don't think there's any conspiracy. It got leaked. Leaks happen. Like, my pipes are leaking right now. Like, that's fine. Like, it happens. You get a plumber and it's all good. Literally, like my water.
An
shut
API
off.
plumber.
I don't know. Like, SEOs are like, I'm not changing SEOs. I'm going to change everything. It's like, everyone just calm the hell down a little bit.
Yeah.
Google is right. You don't know what, obviously they're trying to cover their rear ends a little bit by saying this, but it's true. They don't know what's weighted and how, and if it's even being used and how. We're talking to Barry about this. Like, some of the stuff is so obviously old and outdated. It's got nothing to do with anything. Like, toxic, like they already have real-time penguin. Like, I don't think that's still working the way you think it is anymore. So I wrote on Twitter or X, whatever, that I look at it more directionally. That if you look at like some of the things that Google has been saying over time, and you look at the DOJ leaks, and you look at what they're like, if these things are not like completely old, and there could be things that they're just testing, then at minimum, like the quality rater guidelines, you don't know what's in the algorithm, you don't know what's not in the algorithm, but you do know what they're trying to do directionally.
Right.
So that should impact your mindset. If they're trying to get user behavior data, which obviously they're using because the DOJ lead confirmed that. So you see an
Correct.
overlap. So that's something I'm going with. Like if I see nav boost and then I see, like bad click, in the API,
And long
okay,
click and
that's
these different things.
probably
Right. Exactly.
legit. But at a minimum, you can see like directionally where they're trying to go, like all of like the relevance scores and the trust scores, like the trying to show like the site's out of its lane.
Mm-hmm.
It would the algorithm would try to prevent it from ranking.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's not doing that, which I think it is doing that. I've seen that going back to the Medic update in 2018. I was talking about, hey, Google's profiling your site. If you're out of your lane, it's not going to like it. And Glenn Gabe's talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at things direction, like, okay, like obviously if people have been talking about like Google's doing that, and then you see it in the API leaks and Google's doing that, and it's probably doing that. But at a minimum, you can see directionally where Google's trying to go. And I think that's very important as well.
So we don't have a history of where these different API requirements dropped off. We don't have dates on this. I mean, I did see something rolling around that this code was relevant to 2019, right? So we
know that it's a recent doc that we do know.
Right, but you don't know the recency of the API calls in there or the deprecated calls either. Could very well be an entire anthology of calls that they don't use anymore in that space. So there's a lot that's being inferred, right? And I think you're absolutely right, is that understanding the direction of what they have been saying publicly should be the way to go regularly. On top of that, it all makes sense from subject matter authority and expertise and trust in the space, right? But some concepts around domain authority that we were told doesn't exist, but it did. Then you have the click behavior.
Even that's like, okay, like what does that mean exactly? Like we did know, by the way, I don't make a big deal out of that. We knew there was an old interview with John Mueller and Will Critchlow from like 2017 or 2018, even something like that.
Yeah.
Where John talks about domain quality being a site-wide, quality being a site-wide metric, basically.
Right.
They have site-wide metrics. Like, so is it really new that they're looking at quality from a site level point of view? They told us that in the helpful content update, like officially. So like
absolutely. So it's not new. And just to put a bow on this, a lot of this is not new, but it's new to just seeing it all laid out there. This is the first time.
It's shocking to see it. There's like a shock factor. Like, oh my God. But then you start processing it and like, okay.
Right.
And it's just kind of like, I don't know, like links, right? So like Google's been saying links are less important over time. If you take that and you look at what's in the API leak, how they're looking at user behavior, or they're looking at like how much traffic the links are actually getting, like is it actually a good page?
Right.
Then you can see like if they're looking at user behavior or clickstream data, like Chrome data or the clicks themselves, then you can see why links would be less important, right?
Absolutely.
So kind of all piece it all together.
It makes sense, and there's a direction that they have been going for the longest time. It is shocking to be able to see everything there, and more importantly, it got released, and there's a lot of analysis that's happening. So Aleyda Solis actually tweeted out here just this last week a document that she's actually updating regularly on where people are contributing into basically how to understand what the leak represents. There's a lot of different resources she's keeping together in a Google Doc that she's publicly sharing. We'll put that in the show notes. It's a fantastic tool set to be able to look at different posts on the analysis of that. There's one from Mike King, obviously, the first one that got out there, Rand Fishkin, Andrew Ansley, Tom Capper, Patrick Stocks, actually, all the analysis content, but also some tool sets, some websites talking about it. List, Dixon Jones released an entire search tool set to be able to go through each and every call reference that he rolled out literally the very same day. Andrew Shotland also put a list together. There's some tools out there from Natsir Turado. That's actually a node relationship mapping that was actually really cool. WordLift had another tool out there. So it's a building list of resources to be able to get an understanding of what was really released here. And this was actually what's really exciting, is that the SEO, within a week, the SEO community is building this analysis nest of information around what was leaked. And we can see the community really trying to make sense out of all of this. Is there a there? Well, there certainly is, from understanding of what has happened in the past. It's also, as we get closer and closer to what's really relevant in this list of API calls, you're not going to see that much traction but you are going to see, I mean, things to change on your SEO tactics. That's not the play, but it's the relationship of what they had been measuring and how things are affected that you should be paying attention to this list and these tools, because you got some dedicated people pairing through, preening through what's out there. I think Cyrus Shepard was doing something, as well as a number of individuals inside Twitter sharing information about this. So please go over to that link and have a look, do some deep diving, and understand that this is not a pivotal moment to change everything that you do in SEO. Just the opposite. Stay the course, but also understand what your SEO tactics and how they're represented inside the API document. That's our best recommendation there. Have some confirmation that you're on the right path, and look at other things that you could possibly augment to your tactics. Sorry, there's a bit of a public service announcement right there. What do you think?
I just feel like everyone's gonna like lead into their bias. If you're like biased towards SEO in this way, you'll see the API docs as confirming your bias, and if you did like SEO this way, you'll see the API confirming your bias in how you do things.
It's what you want to see in the mirror, right?
Yeah, it's whatever. I look, wonderful, even though I looked like absolute garbage.
Well, we didn't want to see what the AI overview mirror was giving back to us inside of Google SERPs, and finally, Google has actually leveled down and reduce some of the visibility of that article over at Search Engine Land from Daddy Goodwin, the Google AI overviews. And if you weren't knowledgeable about that, they released that right after Google I/O, and people were screaming to high heaven that there was some really stupid associations in these AI overviews, and we have talked about them for a number of weeks. And one of them was literally recommending jumping off a bridge to handle depression or something like that. Unbelievable. And without any type of accountability from Google. I mean, there was a lot of documentation of some terrible, terrible AI advice that was happening. Anyway, they've shifted out. It's only showing up about 15% of the queries now. When it's actually shown on Generative Experience, it's actually showing about 84% of the time here. If you haven't seen that, check it out. You can see some of these AI generations here. AI overviews, formerly known as SGE, when it is an actual opt-in experiment in this Google Search Labs, it is also now appearing more and more across the entire U.S. environment as well as different countries. The launch of the AI overview, says Danny, was followed by numerous examples of incorrect and dangerous AI-generated answers. So they've shifted down, but here's the deal. It's still present, all right? It's down from 76% in January, thank God. It's now appearing less than 1% of the time for restaurants, and travel's down 30%. But here's the deal. It's still at 63% of healthcare queries, which is incredibly scary. And still, it's 15% of all queries across. I mean, what are we talking about? 6 billion queries a day or something like that. I'm throwing out a number here. So that's still a lot of queries. And healthcare questions is showing up still to a large degree. So what's going to happen here? They're pulling it back, so they're trying to reset how accurate these AI overviews are. It's not going to be going away. It's here to stay. But should they be leveling this off and not allowing it at a per industry level? We vote yes. I mean, it should not even be in the space of healthcare. That's healthcare or legal. I think that would be someplace where we just should not have that AI overview even display. What are your thoughts there, Morty?
Well, Jacob's going to say something, so I'm not.
Why was it ever in healthcare?
I was
after
thinking
that big push.
Yeah.
YMYL, like why?
Yeah, right.
Why a couple of years ago, about
drink
the time,
more urine.
About the time, yeah, about the time I came on here.
Yeah.
YMYL, like why after that push would you ever push this AI?
No, it's the antithesis of, right. I know.
It just boggles my mind. I don't get it.
It's crazy to see that data showing that the health vertical is the most.
Yeah.
I will say that, like, if you look, like Mark Traphagen was commenting on Twitter. Also, Barry covered it in his article, showing the SEO clarity data set shows the same drop off, but different levels. Like it went from like 7.5% to 2.5%. SEMrush has different numbers. So everyone's got different numbers. It's hard to track. You have to be logged in to track these things, and the tool scrapers are generally not logged in. I'm not sure how they're dealing with it.
Yeah.
So like I would take all the levels with a grain of salt. Like I don't know, but like maybe the trend is like the trends make sense if all the tools are showing a decrease. The actual number of 63% of YMYL, I don't know, or health queries, I don't know. let's go with the trend saying that like it is more than the other verticals. If that's
so
true,
scary as all
that
hell.
is bonkers
Yeah.
stupid.
It's the worst thing they could possibly do, but to the degree, I mean, we don't. What's the balance of queries collectively daily?
I don't know
right?
what they're showing. I don't know their data yet. So it's like hard to say. By the way, you saw the thing from Cyrus Shepard where he basically manipulates the link in the AI overview.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he was doing it. Yeah, exactly. Over the last week and a half, he was doing an experiment on how to affect the link, affect the verbiage there. Now he was doing testing. He was sacrificing a organic link or a featured snippet link.
He lost his featured snippet. What he did was he saw the page ranked well. I mean, it got a featured snippet, so obviously it ranked well.
Sure.
He realized that the patent says that they put the links in after the summary, and they're trying to match the summary and the links. All he did was basically copy and pasted the summary, regurgitated a little bit, threw into his article, and then he started showing up in the in the AI overview as the link. I mean, Glenn Gay pointed out that like he lost the feature snippet, and then the day later he also lost the AI overview link.
Right.
But could you imagine if SEO started doing that crap?
Yep. Oh,
It's right they will. Everyone like there's like a split in the SEO world. You have like the people who know what the hell they're doing, and then you have these like nunniks who I don't know who they are. I don't know what they do. I don't know what hole they came out of. They're gonna see that and they're like, oh, all I need to do is copy and paste. All I need to do is copy and paste the same mush that the AI overview put out, like drinking urine to get rid of kidney stones, copy and paste it and put it onto my page where I talk about how to deal with kidney stones. And now my page also recommends drinking urine.
Unbelievable.
Because that's a great thing. Because you know what people don't realize? That drinking urine is a stupid idea. So they'll go to your website, they'll see your text there about drinking urine for your kidneys, and they think, wow, what a great job, you total schmuck.
All right, so boil this down.
You'll kill all your content, but SEOs will do it. Like, yeah, if it gets me the link,
you'll kill your kidney stones too.
I'll say anything to get a link.
But here's the deal: is that this is kind of a microcosm of what the homogenization of AI is, and just developing content at scale with AI. It's eating itself. Or drinking itself, for that matter.
The stupidest part is how they match up the links. You mean Google is only matching it up after the fact?
Oh my God.
That's so dumb.
Yes, it is. So that said, we're happy that it's being removed, or I should say, downgraded.
Wait. They're all worried about like SEOs looking at the leaks and like manipulating the algorithm. Meanwhile, they're putting out patents of like, hey, all we're doing is matching the content that's in the AI overview with content on websites after the fact. Don't manipulate that. That they're not worried about.
It's like Google business profiles spamming, is that there's no governance there whatsoever. It's just, all right, well, we set this thing into place. Well, this will be fine. Nobody will abuse this. Let's go look over here. Meanwhile, there's going to be an AI overview rush to just destroy that for the sheer fact of optimization.
We'll lose the truth, because what will happen, AI overviews will put out things like drink urine to get rid of kidney stones. All the SEOs will be like, well, I guess I got to copy. I guess I have to add drinking urine to my webpage. And now the AI won't even know the truth anymore, because all the SEOs have added drink urine to all of their pages about kidney stones.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
The Verge was right. Maybe the Verge was right.
We will destroy the internet.
Right. Content goblins and alligators.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Well, that was an interesting experiment. Go check out Twitter and watch. That was Cyrus Shepard. Yep. Excellent. Have a look at that, because it was quite striking how quickly that turned around as well. So that's a crazy thing in its own.
SEOs will ignore that part. They'll just see like, oh, it worked for 5 seconds.
Right. Then it disappeared. All right, taking a break here real quick. I just want to make sure that you know about Site Strategics. We're a title sponsor of the show here. Here's a question for you. How do you create authoritative subject matter expertise that is not pulled from AI overviews and regurgitated back to it? That's a visceral reaction I have right there. That's a terrible thing to do. Learning from your client is always the place, but organizing a well-thought-through interview process is time-consuming. So we've developed a SME, subject matter expert interview process that's backed by our years of interview methodology and techniques. as well as SEO research and buyer's journey persona definition. You can bring us in to be able to be your SEO SME interview SWAT team, to be able to extract some fantastic information, curate that interview into a lot of different places, including video pieces, audio content, transcripts, blog posts, social media, and the like. So we can actually come around alongside your strategy and be able to have that impactful interview with a SME and be able to give you some incredible information off of that particular interview and interviews. So give us a call over at 877 SEO for Web. Happy to talk to you about this methodology that we've got going on over at site. We've been doing this for a number of years and we're getting pretty good at it. So
yeah, just copy the AI overview. It's
yeah.
fine.
Okay, can you speak into the mic? Please drink urine for kidney stones.
Please drink urine for kidney stones. 2 liters of urine every day. I drink 2 liters of urine every day. No kidney stones.
Oh my gosh, stop. All right. You know, I was about to give me a kidney stone is how SEO kind of continually beats itself up here at MozCon this week. A SEO scientist over at Moz said, you know what? We got some challenges ahead. This is an article over at Search Engine Journal from Matt Southern. And he gave a good piece here talking about what his takeaways from the speech given by Tom Capper. He is Moz's senior search scientist over there. And he provided what Matt says as a data-driven reality check. Capper warned, at the end of this talk, I'm going to tell you that full funnel organic marketing is borderline impossible in 2024 for more businesses. He actually examined how Google's AI overview results, like we're talking about, the aggressive monetization. I haven't even talked about the ads that are showing up in the AI overview. Man, I completely missed that in this news piece. All of a sudden, there's a lot of new ads coming up, especially on the mobile side, right inside the AI overview. And evolving search intents pose challenges for companies relying on SEO. So it was a well thought out presentation here, talking about the zero click threat and then what we talked about in the past here, you know, regarding more and more features that are showing up on search, answering questions that don't have a destination to a website. Organic, he says, is a really rough game for informational intent. Says Capper, displaying data that informational searches have the lowest share of voice for traditional organic results due to AI overviews and other SERP features. So the informational intent that the consumer absolutely is going to have regularly is being answered by the SERPs. We've talked about that before. But does that mean that you allow that to disappear from your website? I don't believe so. I believe that all your other content, your lower funnel content, is going to be valued even higher with the relationship of informational content and informational intent on your website. Just don't cut that piece out because you're going to float away from the mooring of subject matter knowledge. Yes, Google's eating up the terrain with its own real estate of answers, but just like we were talking about, users are going to get very savvy to the AI side of this generative experience, and that we're going to be seeing poorly executed answers, and Google and users are going to be looking for the truth, looking for those informational websites. So as much as AI is churning up and kind of stirring up the muck there on search real estate, it's not getting the answers correctly. We're seeing that right now, and the digital consumer has been through this before and and they're savvy to the degree that they're not getting an answer that's good enough for their intent. They're going to be looking for your information deeper in. What's your thoughts about that particular theory, Mordy?
I'm going to say something. I'm not sure you're going to be able to keep it in the podcast or not.
Okay, hit me.
How much did Moz pay SEJ to show up and cover their conference?
Ooh. Matt did show a nice little press badge as he walked in there.
He did?
He did.
I'm not saying like Tom's great. Like he should be covered. I'm just saying, I don't think that was an accident. Like just showed up and like, hey, I really wanted to cover this one session, which happened to be for the Moz guy.
Oh, he didn't cover any others?
Do you see anything else on SEJ?
I do not.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. That is like, I don't know if we could use that, but I hope we do. And by the way, good on Moz.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you should be doing. That is like good marketing right there.
Right. No, I completely agree. Is get that.
Also, Tom, Tom has a lot of good things to say in there. It's a giant mess. It's interesting to see, like, he thought informational queries are
Going the way
the
of the
problem,
dodo,
and,
yep.
and commerce is not. Like, when you go to the commerce server, it kind of feels like that's a whole hot mess also. But
Yep.
Tom's a smart dude.
So he didn't even answer the question. See how he completely evaded my request there. Okay, no worries, no worries. I know you are. Just want to poke with a stick, right? Just want to. I get
I
it.
wonder if there'll be like an article tomorrow about Dr. Pete's session. Then we'll know.
We will know. All right. AI news. You love it. You hate it. Jump in there real quick. Check this out. Perplexity pages are showing up in Google AI overviews as well. Talking about the machine eating
God.
itself.
I just can't. I saw this. I did see this last week. I think Glenn Gabe sent it to me. Like, you see this? I'm like, oh my God. Like, the web is lost. We've lost collective minds.
Really have. And
It is a trash can right now.
So Perplexity, if you know what that is, it's another chat engine, so to speak, and the Perplexity pages are being indexed. So queries that are actually building onto user queries are now subject to visibility and indexing on search. So your pages, what you thought were your private sessions, back and forth, are now actually being published and being used in AI overview. Yeah, nothing could go wrong there, folks.
What the hell are we doing?
I tell you that Meta is actually notifying Instagram and Facebook EU users that they're using all their data to train its AI model. So that's over at 9 to 5.
Yeah, that's what you want to have AI trained on is Facebook.
And on top of that, I'll just put the icing on the cake here. X
You
is
know your crazy cousin who posts like ridiculous shit on Facebook?
Yep.
That's what AI is being trained
That's
on.
how
Good
it's getting
stuff.
educated. Right.
That's why it's spitting out like drink urine, because that's what your crazy ass cousin is saying.
You better believe
Drink
it.
urine.
Last
2
thing
liters.
over at Artificial Intelligence News.
I didn't pay any hush money.
I got to get here because this is the cherry on top. X is now permitting AI-generated adult content on Twitter.
It's great.
I'm out.
What the hell
I'm
is
out.
going on?
We're done.
I can't.
It's terrible. All right.
What does that mean? You have like, instead of like 4 fingers, 4.
Stop. Leave it to the audience to imagine that. All right.
I don't want to know. Don't imagine that.
Just don't go to Twitter. And more importantly,
Which is worse, like that or the Perplexity thing?
I think it's all one and the same. I think.
Holy
You know what,
cow.
you guys? Elon is lonely too. Okay?
All right. Yeah, you're probably right.
So mean to Elon.
He needs a girlfriend as well.
Yeah. This is for him.
Why would they even let that go through? Why? What would be the impetus of having AI-generated porn on Twitter?
I will say this. It's a weird headline.
Yep.
Because I'm pretty sure they allowed adult content anyway.
Oh, yeah. It's all over the freaking place.
Right. So why would they not allow it? I'm just saying.
It's AI generated. It's just.
No,
I
but
just
I'm
want to
just-
understand. Wait,
it's
can I
just-
just ask?
it's a
Is there
sensation.
like a shortage of pornography?
No, I don't think so. But I'm just saying it's
breed.
a sensational headline because was there a ban on AI generated content? That's like saying
Right. I see.
that's just like saying Facebook is now allowing AI generated cat photos. Like they already had cat photos, and now you can
See
have
what you just
AI.
did? I can't do it. I gotta
I'm
move on.
I'm just
done.
saying that's a weird article to throw out there.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I can't.
Just clickbait.
It really is.
We not only did we click on it, we covered it.
There you go.
There, yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what's
All right.
not clickbait?
What's not clickbait?
Is Inlinks. They're a great sponsor for Edge of the Web. Continued sponsor. They've been with us for 2 years. Fantastic sponsor. We also utilize their tools on a daily basis. Did you know that entities play a major part in search engine understanding and how it ranks content? Even though AI is eating itself out there, entities on your website are still a very important factor. So keywords are not where you should be going for search engine optimization. You should be creating entities in your content with a fantastic award-winning software in Entity SEO. Go over to edgeofthewebradio.com/Inlinks. You can actually use the code word EDGE to get a discount on that membership if you decide to sign up with them. Fantastic tool sets for content creation, link and interlinking management, as well as structured data deployment on your website, along with social media content creation right off of your own content. Fantastic tool to actually fight back on the generative regurgitation.
Drink urine.
All right, AI tools real quick. Underlord from Descript is a kind of a cool thing I just saw. They actually have, yes, it's an AI tool, but it's not an AI overlord. It's an underlord. It can actually give you.
What does that even mean?
It means that it's not taking over your content. It's allowing you to take over and utilize its tool to be able to do some really cool effects, getting rid of your ums and ahs and your filler words. It does some really cool clips for different hot takes from your podcast itself. So it's sniffing through. We actually use Cast Magic a lot of times for being able to find some really good pieces inside of a podcast. And looks like Descript is doing something as well in that same space. So there's one tool. Another tool out there is kind of cool. This is Showrunner XYZ. You can generate AI TV shows and episodes. Mordy. It's amazing.
I'm just into this website. Look at this thing go.
I know. It's great. Look at all that.
Can we just stop doing this segment? It's so stupid.
It's a lot of South Park looking stuff going on here.
It's just,
Cars?
yeah, it looks like South Park, but they're taller.
Tall South Park coming this fall.
Generate everything.
Drinking urine. Paying us money.
Oh, there was an AI enhanced road trip planning service as well out there.
Can we get a cartoon version of this new show?
I think so. I think we're going to have to.
Oh.
Morty, the Morty cartoon.
How about some Berry Blast, folks? Let's cleanse.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's
Like
cleanse our
actual-
palate of all this real quick. All right, 2 minutes to actually go over Barry. And I'm sorry, we do really need to get Barry up.
Yeah,
in
because we
front.
spent so much time talking about AI tools and porn.
That was not the large allotment of our time today. I just wanted to throw that one.
That's fair. I'm just being a pain in the ass.
All right, Google. You know what's a pain in the ass? Google warns sites that are that are inaccessible on mobile will not be indexed. I think you guys covered it on the news as well yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Google said it will not.
Yeah, it's new.
It is new.
Yeah.
Well, they will not.
Oh, not anymore. It's a day old. It's old.
Oh, you got to check Surf's up then. That's even fresher, right? Which is the freshest podcast now? That's what I got to
I
ask.
don't know. So my mind is like mush on the podcast thing going on.
So Google said it will not index sites that are not accessible on mobile devices after July 5th, 2024, and that's the date of this recording. So if you have a non-accessible,
we are in June.
No, we're in June, dude.
What did I say?
You're hallucinating.
Oh, it's July.
Time traveler.
Oh, July. Sorry.
Come on, John Teeter, slow down.
Okay, Sarakana, where are you?
Who
July
eaters? Fresh urine.
5th. So if your site's content is not accessible at all with a mobile device, it will no longer be indexable, says John Mueller. So, like you guys said on the show yesterday, hey, how difficult is it to actually make a mobile site nowadays?
It's not like oh, you're not mobile friendly. We're not. And if you can't access it on mobile at all.
Right.
We're in 2024.
You
Who
can
still has
actually-
a site like that?
I don't know.
So we should do mobile first.
Yes.
Instead of mobile first, it's like mobile at all.
You can see a desktop version of a site on a mobile phone. Are you saying that if you are literally blocking mobile devices,
It's not. It just doesn't load. It doesn't show up. It's like it's not. You
Something's
just
broken.
can't. It doesn't work on
Got it.
mobile.
All right.
For a better word.
so it's not all non-responsive, it's mobile inaccessible.
It's
I
just
need to make a
completely
separate website
inaccessible.
with a .mobi.
Mm-hmm.
Is what you're telling me, Morty?
Yeah, it really should.
It's a completely different site.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
And make a different site for each search engine, actually.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah,
nice.
do that. Do
All right.
subdomains all over the place.
All right.
And then fill
Yeah.
your different subdomains with AI regurgitated content.
All right.
Yep.
I'm on that.
All right. So Google, this over search engine ran tips again from Barry on June 4th. Google fixed the Search Console links report. Google Search Console link report now seems to be fixed. It says as he reported last week, there was a decline in links being reported on the tool, followed by a huge decline a few days later. The tool now seems to be showing the previous link count before the tool had that bug. So if you were looking at that link report going, what the crap is going on, Google has fixed that as well.
He's got a lot of links.
He's got a crap ton of links. Did you see how many? He also got listed on Drudge whenever the break came out, or the leak came out, and he was having like 4,500 people in 5-minute increments on his article alone. It was crazy the amount of traffic that was coming in there. Anyway, wrap it up here. Google Business Profiles test chat with SMS and WhatsApp. Now this is interesting. A crossover to WhatsApp, which is the Facebook platform, right? Last week, he reported that chat's going away from Google Business Profiles. Also, call history and call tracking are also going away from Google Business Profile as well. Frank Castro, KW, spotted that Google is testing a new chat section in the Google Business Profile section, where you can add your SMS number and or the WhatsApp number if you want to allow Google Maps and Google Search users to be able to message or chat with you. So hopefully they're not penalizing Google Business Profiles if there's not an answer within 24 hours, because that's what they did have in their chat messaging system. And they've moved away from the mobile app for Google Business Profiles. So now you're going to be able to be plugged directly into your SMS to your mobile phone to be able to receive chats from your Google Business Profile. I think that's an excellent move.
Would they even know if you replied within 24 hours?
No, that's my point.
Yeah.
I think they're not policing that anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good call there.
Yeah.
Allow reviews to actually police that. We message and nobody actually talked to anybody in a week or whatever. Just don't penalize the profile owner from that functionality. Go ahead.
You know, for a minute there, I thought Barry really lost it and was writing absolute gibberish. And then I realized
there was a user.
The screenshot he shared was in Spanish.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
I'm like, whoa. Barry really went off the deep end with the grammar here. You know, that's not even English, that's Spanish. My bad. Sorry, Barry.
I was getting triggered just on the username, Francestro KW. I didn't know how to bloody pronounce that whatsoever. Thankfully, it's a username. All right, so that's Barry Blast wrapping it up for this episode of News from the Edge. Thanks, listeners, for dealing with our muck stirring and our AI generative calls for urine consumption. Again, public service announcement, don't do that, even if Google says you should.
Google's only going to transcribe the first half of this podcast,
right,
where you said that you should.
Oh, crap.
And that's going to make it into the
We'll
AI
get into the
overview.
SG here. Yeah, what SG do you want to get into? Let's just read it and get into all of them.
Yeah.
I want to get this all published on Perplexity Pages now. I mean, evidently, that's the place to go.
Sweet.
You know, now Google Business Profile has gotten rid of the websites. Now it's going to be Perplexity AI Pages.
There you go.
That's where you optimize everything.
All of your
whatever it takes for the link.
pages to each other through Google Business Profiles.
Hey, all right. All right. Done. We're done. That's it. Thank you so much for your time today, Mordy. Appreciate it, as always.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me back.
You're more than welcome, and I'm glad you were able to get through the family dealings relatively unscathed.
I'm mentally scarred for life, but
relatively.
But you were there before, right?
That's also true.
All right, that's it for The Edge this week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as we pop this video in, as well as a number of different snackable tidbits from our interview series. Make sure that you check out our sponsors of the show, because they want to know how you found them. And if you actually click on the links of the show notes, they know that you found them there. They're trying to make sure that your work week goes flawlessly with more and more.
Aaron's trying to make sure he gets continued sponsorships by showing the clicks.
Click on this ad. All right, we're out. From all of us over The Edge, stay safe, stay well, and do not be a piece of cyber driftwood. Thanks, Mordy. Welcome back.
More you're in.